Alright guys, back on the Toyota this morning. I've been working on it a little bit here, a little bit there. Got pulled away to do some, well, my water heater went out in the house and one thing led to another. I wanted to change the location of the water heater. Then I wanted to change the location of the laundry room, put that where the water heater was, and bam. Next thing you know, didn't really get to the Toyota. So I'm gonna flip this camera around and I might show you some footage of what I did in the house, but I'm gonna flip this camera around and show you the plan for today. So here's the game plan for today. I had put this V6 radiator in the little 4-cylinder, but hood doesn't close. I could drop it down. I already showed all the reasons why I don't really care to do that. Leaves the bottom of the radiator vulnerable to hits. But more than that, see, I bought this aftermarket temperature gauge up there in the window, and they told me I could just hook it up directly to the temperature gauge, you know, the Toyota temperature gauge. Well, further reading, I learned that you cannot hook up an aftermarket or any kind of, you know, temperature gauge to just any sending unit, because they are calibrated. And I'm gonna have to get over there and try to find the other part of that. But basically, guys, these temperature gauges are calibrated, so the gauge is calibrated with the sending unit. So basically what I'm thinking, here's the one that came with the kit. So basically what I'm thinking is I'm gonna install this, because I believe possibly that I've been getting a false reading on that heat, you know, as far as, you know, this pickup not getting up to 250 degrees. I bought a fan, then I had to buy an extender. I bought a 2-inch extender. It wasn't long enough, so I ordered a 2.5. Long story short, they don't fit because Toyota's, you know, that part there fits in, but then Toyota has that little step right in there, so they don't even fit. You can buy an aftermarket kit. There's a company online that makes a kit. Comes with the fan and a spacer for Toyota. It's about $100, but I don't feel like putting $100 into this at this point. Worst case scenario, I'm thinking I just get a new fan clutch if I needed it. So game plan for today: pull the V6 radiator, put that guy, which is brand new radiator for the 22R, put it back in so I can close my hood, and put the fan back in. Or I might go get, before I put that in, I might go get a new one. It seemed pretty inexpensive, so I might go get a new one as far as the fan clutch and put in. It's not ideal, but everything about this build is supposed to be on budget, and I don't really want to throw $200, or not 200, I don't want to throw $100 at getting that kit and have to wait for it in the mail. So, and I'm gonna see if hopefully some of these fittings here, one of them at least, will fit in that, you know, where the original sensor goes. So I'm gonna start probably by trying to see if I can't get one of these to work. Other than that, I did buy one of those infrared heat guns that some people had suggested. So if I can't put this in, then I'm for now just gonna say screw any sort of heat temperature, and I'm gonna try to get the best reading that I can just using the infrared heat gun that I got, because I'm just sitting here farting around with this, and I need to get on to other things. First of all, I'm kind of tired of working on this. I still got to figure out blinkers, brake lights, and why these lights aren't really getting bright. I think it's a ground issue. Still got to bolt my seats in. I got to get this thing done. So I got another project. I've talked about it. Oh, cat found itself a little worm. Yeah, very fun there, cat. But I've got a big project coming up, a huge project. But before I do that, I want to get an actual decent camera with decent sound and kind of bump my quality of videos up. But I'm getting ready, and I've been doing some behind the scene work on getting ready, but I'm gonna start on that 69 Charger. So I just don't want to start it until I can adequately film it and do a lot better job, because to be honest, on this Toyota I did a really sucky job of filming, and I do almost no editing, so it is what it is. It's probably why I got like 15 views a video. So alright, let's get into it. So I got this brand new Toyota one out. I'm just gonna put it in the glove box, save it. At some point I do hope to get the original gauge going. I think, not sure. Problem with the original gauges is that it doesn't really tell you how hot the motor is. It just tells you, you know, it has a progression of basically hot and cold and somewhere in between. So all I gotta do, I gotta now take this little guy off that I put on so that I can use the kind that the kit came with, and that will screw onto there. So I'm gonna get that swapped out, then we'll pull the radiator. Alright, I went and returned that other fan kit and spacer, but I thought I might as well go get a new fan clutch. No guarantees that that one's bad, but I thought, why not? I do like this one. I'm taking its original. I do like it better because it's just got the complete holes, and that's got the notch outs. It probably don't make any difference. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this fan off of here, mount it onto here, get that installed. After I pull this radiator, might as well do that first. It's now had some time to sit and drain, so let's get it on. Alright, got it all put back together. Just gonna let it sit here, warm up, and it wants to die. Yeah, I gotta work on the timing a little bit. Starting out cold, just curious if changing that made any difference. What's weird is I had this working for a quick minute, the original. I also had this light here working for a quick minute. Let's see if it's gonna idle. I need to advance that a little bit. And there it goes. Alright. I moved it to a hill so I could get the front end up and burp it. I've burped it a few times. I don't see any air bubbles. I kind of wait until it warms up more so I can see if that radiator fluid is circulating through there. But so far we are at 180. So anywhere in the 180, 190, damn bird shit. There we go. I've got some circulating now. Put the thermostat back in. I had removed it just for testing, but thermostat is in there. Now that that's circulated, let's see what the temp is. Hanging out at the 180, awesome. Remember, I was getting up to like 260 or so. So I'm just gonna let it run for a bit. I'll add a little more fluid in there. So far it doesn't seem to be overheating. Another thing I want to work on today is the shifting. When I put the four-wheel drive shifter back in, there's several different areas or little holes where the shifter can fit into. And at first I put it in one and I couldn't get it to shift at all, so I put it in another one. And finally I was able to get into four-wheel drive, but now I can't get out of four-wheel drive into two-wheel drive, so I think I have it in the wrong hole. There's only one other one left to try. Problem is I don't remember the original one that I had it in, so it's not that big of a pain other than reaching those 4 bolts. 2 of them are no problem. 2 of them are literally a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna kind of mess around with that so I can get it into two-wheel drive, and then I'm gonna work on some wiring in the back. It looks like it's trying to rain today, but so far the temperature is hanging out right where I want it at the 180. So I feel confident that that is fixed, because by now, just running at this sort of length, I would have been hitting the 260 or so already. So I'm gonna consider the temperature problem not a problem and go from there. So I'll get this back down on flat ground, since I don't have an emergency brake that works, and start working on it. I actually just did a little peel out to see if it's in four-wheel drive, and something I noticed, I got a little peel out there backside, a little peel out there backside, nothing in the front, nothing in the front. So that might be fixed. Question is, because I know nothing about this differential, but I expected only one tire to peel out and they both did. So I'm wondering if that's locked, or I mean, maybe somebody watching this knows if that's supposed to do that. I thought it was just supposed to be one unless it was locked. Alright guys. So guys, that was a success. I'm not sure if it is aftermarket temperature gauge. That could have had something to do with it. I also changed out the fan clutch. That could have had something to do with it. Either way, it is not overheating, and I'm back to the 4-cylinder radiator. So that's where I'm going to leave it for the second. I got to go help the wife on the chicken coop. Once again, getting called off the Toyota. This thing seems like it'll never get done. So hopefully I quickly get that done and back on this project. Got myself new antenna. Every single vehicle I own seems to have a broken antenna. Not that it matters, because every single vehicle I own has a broken radio. So, but I commute an hour and a half or so to work each way, and so that's one of my priorities, is to finally get some music in these vehicles. So we'll continue on the electrical here in just a second. So guys, this is what took me away from my Toyota. The wife needed to get the chickens out of where they were, small containers. So I had to divide this chicken coop in half. This is the door from just moving my water heater. That was the door to the water heater. So nothing fancy. Just threw up a divider because we have older chickens. So they'll enjoy this half. And these little ones, this half. And yeah, that's what took me away from my Toyota. It's always something. But hey, I thought I'd throw this in because after all, I call myself a Homestead. Little boy here, wearing my boots, making a damn mess of himself. He's soaking wet, and now, whoa boy, covered in hay. And I need to work on the Toyota, but this probably doesn't show it, but it is raining. It's raining pretty good. So if it gets a clearing, I'll run out there and start working on some wiring.